EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. New course to most of the golfers on tour, this challenging layout just opened in 2015. Today, we're along the east coast of Maine. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobilo. We'll be calling all the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point.
Another great design from Brand Patel, and they really threw the boat out here. Some excellent choice of holes, and you see the changes in elevation. You get this on a windy day, and of course 7,700 yards will play even longer than that. A nice calm day though, Rich, and you really can shoot a good score out here.
So the action is underway, and we'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Frank, were you the kind of player who actually might have been worried if you didn't have first tee jitters?
Definitely. You didn't have the energy if that was the case, but it's about turning that energy into some sort of positive form. Make nice full swings, pick some good targets, and of course, you never know what's going to happen.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. That was not a very good read right there. From about 8 feet. Moves into the top 20 after the par. Now at the second here at Lighthouse Point, Frank, this is some tough par 3.
If you want to try and really break the hole down and be a purist here, Rich, you'd like to hit a little cut into this green, something that moves away from the water and the cliff back towards that bunker. That would be the perfect shot to hit. But such a difficult par 3. Anything on the green would be good here.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or 2. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
And so just getting started, even par so far. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs. And this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in 2. Stray a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, it's one thing to make good contact. It's another to make a good decision in terms of what club to hit.
Yes, so often people want to try and hit the ball the exact number. But if that flag is right on the front, you have all that green behind it. You can use all of that. There's nothing in the game that says, maybe I should just take another club and make sure that I'm putting. Too often people only look purely at where that flag is.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And he's made it onto the green. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Fifth hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defense here at the Cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway, and you'll also be hitting to a green, which is protected. He's gone for a little extra.
Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size. Not overly big, but man, can really move it a long ways. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. So Frankie is leaning, and it appears as though this one's headed a bit right.
Yeah, just came out of it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Stays at 1 under with that par. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. 170 yards left. Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so. And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
Frank, we saw it all today here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point. We played about a 700-yard par 5 and almost 600-yard par 4. Some really demanding par 3s. This was enjoyable and challenging at the same time.
Challenging and long, 7,700 yards, but changes in elevation, the great vistas we saw. Really an enjoyable day. Golf's to be played in the elements. I certainly enjoyed calling the golf we saw today. And, well, Rich, tide's come in. Time for us to go.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo here today calling the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point. And Frank, this course features some breathtaking scenery.
It certainly does, Rich. Changes of elevation, and it's in phenomenal shape. We've got to send our thanks out to the superintendent, Peyton Duncan, who's got the course exactly primed. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy the views. Take your camera as well. This is very scenic up in New England.
12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage, that hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The 2 greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron. That's right, a 3-iron on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the 2 fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy you with these shots. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10, this is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again. At the end of a long, long walk. I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. A former college #1 makes another birdie. Now to the par 3 14th. It is 240 yards. What a golf course, Frank. I mean, this tests the best in the world. I'm talking about McIlroy and Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler. 700-yard par 5s and nearly 600-yard par 4s. This is all you want.
It certainly is, and that's why the total yardage of this golf course is nearly 7,700 yards. This par 3, just a beast at 240 yards. One thing you want to do, though, is avoid Lake Zimmer. It's a big body of water to the right. If anything, though, look at the green. It shapes a little to the right, so you can use that left side of the green, which is away from the lake. It's a smart way to play this.
And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand, left, and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green. Really, the only problem is if you go long.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Starting to make a nice move. Birdie and 4 under par for the tournament. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Frank, this game has taken us all over the world to some absolutely beautiful spots, and this is one of the prettiest I've seen in a long time, the cliffs at Lighthouse Point along the eastern coast of Maine.
Yeah, it's always fun when we head up in the northeast area. Golf's been in this area for a long, long time. This golf course hasn't. Rather new design by Brandt and Patel, and it's lengthy, 7,700 yards. You'll get to hit just about every club in the bag, so good test today.
Now on the 10th hole here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point as we begin our trek homeward here at this magnificent golf course. This one puts a little fear into you, Frank. I'm looking at a par 4, and it's almost 600 yards. Help.
Help, you're going to need it, that's for sure. And one of the things they've done to help you is a big elevated tee, so that'll at least chew some of the yardage off. Hopefully the prevailing breeze is also at your back, which might shorten that number up. Pretty generous fairway. Try and take those bunkers out of play with the big hefty club. And when you get on the green, you're going to realise there's 2 greens here, Rich. 10 shares the same green as 13.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie. good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, so close. So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Good birdie right there, moving to 3rd place on the leaderboard. Moving on to the 12th hole now, par 4, 439 yards.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt and deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
And he takes the wind right out of your sails. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
Just moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
Par 3 14th, headed over Lake Zimmer. Old man Zimmer was a legend in these parts here in Maine at Lighthouse Point. All you want here, Frank, at 240 yards. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options, and you don't have to hit the ball first.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. So a tester from 4 feet. That's a bogey. Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.